Sairam children, welcome back to our English class. And so what are we going to do today? Yes, we are going to continue our lesson, The Mountain That Ate People. So children, are you eagerly waiting to know what happened to the farmer and his mother? Yes, we are eagerly waiting. I'm eagerly waiting to know what happened to the farmer and his mother. In the lesson, The Mountain That Ate People. Now children, let us continue with our lesson. So before that, let's do a quick recap what we did in part 1. So, our lesson, there were three main characters, the feudal lord, young farmer and farmer's mother. So, what is feudal lord? Yes, he is the owner of the land. So, there was a Japanese feudal lord. He was ruling a small state. He is very cruel. Why is he cruel? Because he wanted all the old people who is 61 should die. So he issued a decree. Decree means an order, official order, that the people whoever is 61, they should be left in the dense forest by their family. So here children, now this feudal lord, he became so happy, he became so jubilant that he could not see any old people in his state, because there were hardly any old people, because he thinks that old people are nuisance and useless. So he ordered that all people should be taken to the mountain that ate people. Right children? So the people who are becoming old, they were taken to the dense forest on a high mountain near the city, and they left them in the cold and the rain, and there were many wild animals also. And then what happened? In that state, there was a farmer and an old mother. So they were living right from the beginning in that state, and they loved each other so much. Farmer loves his mother. He always takes his advice of his mother, whatever he does. Soon, one day, his mother also, farmer's mother also, she turned 61. So, but the farmer does not want to take his mother to the dense forest. But one day, farmer's mother called the farmer and told his son that she is 61 and take her to the forest and leave it there. The farmer was terribly upset because he doesn't want to leave his mother in the dense forest. So children, so now the farmer carried his mother on his back because she is very old and she cannot even walk or climb the mountain. So the farmer carried his mother on his back. He was totally upset and he was weeping all the way. And the forest path was very narrow, and it was covered with dense forest, tall grasses and very big trees. So on the way to the forest, can you see in this picture the farmer carrying his mother? So the path was very narrow. So on the way, the mother, what she did? Yes, she was breaking the twigs from the tall trees. The farmer was hearing the sound and he was puzzled, and he asked his mother, why are you doing so? The mother replied. So what did she reply? She replied that it will be helpful for you to return back and reach home safely from this dismal forest. Now, this farmer cried very bitterly. Why was he crying? Now let's read the story and let's continue our lesson. This is our part 2, the mountain that ate people. So children, now the farmer was crying very bitterly. Now let's see why the farmer was crying and what happened to his mother. So hearing her loving words, the farmer wept bitterly as he helped her down to the stony ground. Mother, mother, he cried, even at such a terrible time as now, how can you still think of me? Even though I'm carrying you to your death, he sobbed. The farmer was carrying his mother for her death. And then also, what is the mother doing? Mother is thinking about his son that he has to return back home safely in this critical situation also. So what did the mother reply? There is nothing strange about my thoughts, smiled the mother gently. I was so joyful when you were born and never minded any hardships to bring you up. My son, it's very natural for me to take care and think of you. Yes, it is natural of all mothers. So does your mother loves you? Your mother likes if you cry? No, none of the mother likes if we cry. So in same manner, here also, mother did not like the farmer crying. So she said, mother is ready to do any hardships at any time and she always cares for her child. Never, never will I leave you, mother, in this dreadful place, cried the farmer. So, what did the farmer say? So, hearing these loving words from his mother, the farmer replied that I will never ever leave you in this dense forest. I will gladly accept any punishment from the feudal lord rather than let you die here. So what happened? So the farmer is ready to take any sort of punishment from the feudal lord, but he's not ready to leave his mother in the dense forest. And he picked up his mother up again. So both of them returned down the mountain that ate people and quietly hid among the bushes on the edge of the forest. Now, children, why did they hid among the bushes? Yes, because if they don't hide, the villagers will come to know that this old mother again she has returned back home and the feudal lord will punish him. So they hid behind the bush. And now what happened? When the entire village was fast asleep, they crept back stealthily to their little house. Yes, when all the people were slept. And so in the night time, they slowly entered in their house. Now, was this a wise decision from the son? Is it a good decision, children? Yes, it is a very good decision because the farmer did not leave his mother in the dense forest. So the farmer worked hard day and night. So the farmer worked hard day and night, digging up the floor within the house. He made a small room under the ground, hid the old mother in there, and looked after her well. Now, see what happened. So, inside the house itself, he started digging the ground and he made a small room under that ground, and he kept his mother in that underground room and looked after well. Now the farmer and his mother are very happy. So during the day he tended his fields cheerfully as usual. Now this farmer is not upset. He is working very cheerfully in his farm. So, never letting anyone know his dreaded secret, he did not let any of the villagers to know about his mother. So, a year passed. So, 1 year was over. Yet another year. Now, one day, you know what happened in this village? The One day, the mighty overlord of the neighboring state came thundering with his army and horses and waged war against the feudal lord, defeating him. So, from the neighboring state, so another feudal lord entered this village to make a war. See, he entered with his army and horses and he waged a war against this feudal lord and defeated him. And defeated him. Now let's see what happened to this poor people who are living in this village. Now, the defeated feudal lord pleaded for his people again and again. At last, the victorious lord, so the feudal lord who had won the victory, so took pity on him, saying, "If you solve correctly the problem I set you, the lives of your subjects will be spared." Means this the feudal lord who has won the war, he is going to set a problem. If this defeated king solves the problem, his people, the people who are living in this village, that is his subjects, will be spared. They will live alive. But when the feudal lord heard the problem, he was utterly dumbfounded. Dumbfounded means he was extremely surprised to hearing the after hearing the question. So what was the question? Calling his nobles, he sent a proclamation throughout the land that whosoever could solve it would be richly rewarded. So the king, he called all the people who are in the village and he said about the question, and whoever solves this question will be richly awarded with gifts and the money. What was that problem? So the problem was, take 1,000 strings, tie them into a bundle and burn it into ashes. How can you then bring the bundle to me completely intact? An impossible riddle. So what was the riddle, children? Strings has to be tied and make a bundle, and it has to be burnt into ashes, and they have to bring intact those ashes, they have to bring intact to that victorious king. But children, how is it possible after we burn something, can you carry that intact? No, it's not possible. So many days went by, but none could think of a correct solution. The farmer too heard of it and returning home told his mother, who laughed heartily. So this mother heard the question and she was laughing. "Don't you worry, son, I will tell you. Make a bundle out of 1,000 strings, soak it in sea water, and dry it well in the sun. Even this is burnt to ashes, it can still be carried intact to the mighty overlord." Wow, what a wonderful solution this old mother, she gave. So she told his son, take 1,000 strings and soak it in the seawater and then burn it into ashes after it dries well. so that the bundle will remain intact, because the salt will be absorbed and it will become very strong. So it can be carried to the mighty overlord. The farmer ran to the court of the feudal lord and bowing low and told him what his mother had said. How thankful and relieved the Lord was. He praised the farmer and gave him lots of money and lovely presents. So, after some time, the great overlord sent a messenger to the feudal lord with another problem, which was much more difficult. Oh my God. Now, this first question was solved, and this messenger he has brought another question. The overlord has sent the another puzzle. It was much more difficult than the first one. How is it possible to pull a silken thread through a narrow pipe with seven bends? Oh my God. Children, you must be knowing the pipe. So it is a very thin pipe and it is very narrow. A small hole is there and it has to be bent seven times. And after bending, you have to insert the thread from one end to the other end. So children, how is it possible? Do you have any solution for this? I don't know. So let's see what happened and how this puzzle is solved. The feudal lord, so children, the overlord said, if you cannot reply correctly, said the messenger, my overlord will ransack your entire state. So if you don't answer correctly, the entire state will be stealing things and causing damage. So this overlord will come and damage everything from the state. He will ransack the entire state. So the entire village will be crushed by this overlord. The feudal lord, trembling and fearful again, sent a proclamation across the land. Now again he sent the news to all over the village, and again he announced that whoever answers this will be awarded richly. Now, hearing this question, the farmer ran again to his mother again. So, it's very simple, my son, said the mother. Let our master get a narrow pipe made with seven pins. Place it on the ground. Now children, listen carefully. What's the solution? So mother told, bring the pipe and make seven bends and place it on the ground and put plenty of sugar at one end, and then put plenty of sugar at one end. So the pipe is placed on the ground. At one end, lot of sugars were dropped down. Then tie a silken thread round a large ant and release it to the opposite end. Surely the ant will pull the silken thread through the pipe, not only through seven bends, but through 70. She added, laughing. So, children, did you understand? The mother told to place the pipe and drop lot of sugars at one end, and the silken thread should be tied on one of the ant, and these ants love to eat sugar, right? So they will take the sugar and they pass through that narrow ends. So mother said it is possible to cross the 70 bends also, not only 7 bends, it is 70 bends. So the farmer he thanked. Thank you, mother. Thank you, cried the happy farmer. He ran as fast as he could to tell the delighted feudal lord, who rewarded him with bags of gold and precious gifts. So, this feudal lord, after hearing this solution, he awarded him with bags of gold and precious gifts. Now let's see what happened. Time passed and yet once more The wicked overlord sent his messenger to harass the feudal lord with the hardest problem of all. Now this feudal lord want to harass this king. So he sent another, the most difficult question he sent. The great Lord wishes you to make him a drum that will play by itself. So, children, you know the drum? Yes, when we beat the drum, the sound will come. But this feudal lord say the drum, they have to make the drum which can play by itself. Children, now tell me, how is it possible that a drum will play by itself? So a drum means we have to beat it with the stick so that the sound will come. Now let's see what happened. So the feudal lord was petrified. So petrified means this feudal lord was extremely frightened. He became so scared after hearing this question. Who is there that can tell us how to make such a wondrous drum and save our lives and land? He wailed. The farmer turned again to his mother for advice. My son, this problem is easier than the others. She smiled. Now, this feudal lord and that overlord all were thinking that this is the most difficult problem. But the farmer's mother, she told that this is the easiest question of all the two. She smiled. Make an ordinary drum. So, what solution did she give, children? She told, make an ordinary drum and put some bumblebees inside. So, you know bees which flies? Yes, she told to put those bees inside the drum before covering the sides with paper. Before covering the sides with paper, take it to the overlord and it will play merrily without being touched. Yes, what a wonderful idea. So before covering the drum, you have to put the bumblebees inside and then cover the drum. So the bumblebees will start flying inside the drum. So automatically it will dash against each other and the music will be played. So the noise, the sound will can be heard in that drum automatically. Oh mother, how wise you are, cried the excited farmer and ran to the feudal lord to tell him. Can you think of any alternative solution to any of these questions asked children? So this, when the school reopens, we'll discuss about this, any alternative solutions which you have. Right. So just think and keep it of all these questions which was given by the victory Lord. Yes. Now Lord was overwhelmed. Now this feudal lord was very happy with joy and taking off priceless strings of pearls and rubies from his neck gave them to the farmer. So immediately the farmer removed his necklace which is made of rubies and diamonds and he gave it to the farmer. But suddenly he stared hard at the young man. He was staring. It is wonderful that you are able to solve such difficult problems, he said. Surely you cannot be so wise to think of the answers all by yourself. Tell me honestly, who has helped you? So this king was now, he is in a doubt. He told that you are not so intelligent to give the answers for all these questions. So he is asking, who has helped you? So children, do you think that the farmer told that about his mother who is old and who is above 61? Let's see what did the farmer do. The farmer quaked with fear, but he bowed before the feudal lord and spoke courageously and with conviction. So children, mighty Lord, the farmer said, mighty Lord, I have disobeyed you. and have kept my old mother hidden away at home. Yes, can you see on the screen, children? The farmer is bowing before the king, and he said, "Mighty Lord, I have disobeyed you and have kept my old mother hidden away at home." He said, "It's really she who has given you the correct answers to these problems and has saved our lives and stayed from the overlord. Please forgive me." So the farmer said the truth that only his old mother has given all the answers. So was the feudal lord angry? No, no, he was not at all angry. And in fact, he realized the value of the great wisdom of old people and his folly in sending them away to the mountain to die. So now this feudal lord, he realized his folly, means mistake. He realized his mistake that old people are not nuisance. Old people are not useless. So they are wise in their wisdom. So these old people have a lot of experience and they have a lot of knowledge. Yes, at once he withdrew the cruel decree. So now he announced the people that nobody, no old people will go to the mountain. He took back his decree. Whatever the order he has given, he has cancelled. So from that day, no old people were ever taken to the old mountain, that 8 people, and they lived happily with their children and grandchildren. Moreover, the powerful overlord, being extremely impressed by the wisdom of the feudal lord and his subjects, gave up fighting and all lived together in peace and harmony. So the neighboring state, that king also, he gave up the fight and he let the people live happily and in peace and harmony. So children, isn't a very interesting story? Yes, it is very interesting. Now children, here I have given the summary of the lesson in this video. So whenever you find time at your own pace, you can just read this summary. You can open the video and pause it and read the summary of the lesson. And here we have an activity also. So children, this is the first slide of the summary. And this is the second one. You can just take the screenshot or you can just pause it, open the video, pause it and read the summary so that you will understand properly. And this is our last slide. Okay. So I think I'll show you once again this last slide. Yes. Now we have a small activity here, reference to context. So the first question is, soon there were hardly any people left and the feudal lord was jubilant. So why were there very few people left? because they had been left by their families on the mountainside to die. And children, related questions are given in the assignment also. So just complete that assignment and submit it. So what is the significance of soon? Soon emphasize that the how complete the feudal lord's tyranny was. So why was the feudal lord jubilant? Because there were hardly any old people left. And now here I have given you a small activity, and you can see children, nowadays people often have to move from their childhood homes. Means now the children are grown up, or they want to study their career, they want to pursue their careers, or they want to go out and work. So they leave their parents and they live alone. So these grandparents also live alone, and their parents and their children also live alone. So this means that parents are often left on their own to live alone, and they feel loneliness. So are your grandparents living with you, or they are living alone, children? So if your grandparents are living alone, or if you see any of your friends' grandparents are living alone, just share their feelings. How do they live their lonely life? Just write few lines on it, and when the school reopens, just submit this answer and we will discuss regarding this. And the assignments are given in part 1 also and part 2 also. Just complete that and submit it. Until that, stay home, stay safe. Thank you, children. Bye bye.